Okay then, so in this video I don't want to introduce another data type. I want to take a sidestep and talk about a slightly different version of a string, and that is a template string. And what a template string lets us do is inject variables into the string without having to exit out and using the plus sign to concatenate them. So what I've done is create three variables right here, a title, author and likes. They represent a blog post, and what I'd like to do is create one big string which contains all of these different variables at some point. Now I'm going to show you the concatenation way and the template string way, and you can decide which one you prefer. I much prefer the template string way. By the way, another name for these template strings is a template literal. Okay, so first of all, let's do the concatenation way. So I'm going to create a variable called result and set it equal to a string. Now to begin with, it's going to say the blog called, and then we need to exit out of the string to concatenate the title, so plus title, then back into a string, and we'll say by, then out of the string, and we'll say the author, and then back into the string, and we'll say has, and then out of the string we want the likes, and then finally plus likes, like so. I'm just going to press Control B, and that hides the tree over here for us, so we have more room. And now this is a gigantic string containing all of these different variables. The blog called title, which is this, by author, which is Mario, has 30 likes, okay? So notice how many times we have to come out of the string to concatenate something, then back into the string, then out, then in, then out, etc. This is very, very messy, but it still gets the job done. If I say console.log and then result, we should still see this in the console correctly. The blog called best reads of 2019 by Mario has 30 likes. So this works fine. It just looks a bit messy and it's hard to maintain. So then, let's have a look at the template string way. Remember, the job of a template string is to allow us to inject variables directly into the string without coming out of it and having to concatenate with plus signs like this. So again, we'll say let result equal something. Now this time we don't use single quotes, we don't use double quotes, we use backticks. And on a standard keyboard that should be in the top left below the escape button, and they look something like this right here, okay? Little backticks. So this is how we create a template string. Just like we create a normal string using normal quotes like this, a template string is created using backticks, okay? So then inside here we can say something like the blog called, and I'm just going to put title here. We'll come back to this and we'll say by author, again we'll come back to that, has likes. Okay, so what we really want to do is replace these things right here in capitals with the actual variables. Now previously we had to come out of the string and use the plus sign to concatenate them, but in a template string, to output a variable, all we do is $, and then curly braces, open and close, and then we put the name of the variable inside those curly braces. So for example, title, and it should have a different color. Now we'll do the same with author. So $, curly braces, and then author, which is the name of the next variable. Then likes, so let's do $, curly braces, likes, and this should all work. And I think that looks a lot better. We don't have to come out of the string and concatenate anything. We just embed the variables directly using this kind of syntax. And it reads a lot better too. So let me now console.log the result to the browser and save it. And we get exactly the same result. This still works. So I much prefer this way, especially when there's many different variables. If it was just one variable and it looks something like this first bit, concatenation is absolutely fine, and I might do that in the future for something like this. But when we have a lot of variables, I'm definitely going to be using template strings. Now then, a good use case for template strings is to create HTML templates. So say for example, we had some kind of dynamic content that we got back from a database, and we want to create an HTML template with that content embedded inside it, then output it to the browser somewhere. Well, we could use a template string for this. So we could say something like let HTML equal to backticks. This is a template string. And then what I'm going to do is enter onto a new line. Now then, I'm going to just create some HTML. So I'm going to say h2, and then I'm going to output the title inside the H2 for the blog. So we'll do our $ curly braces, then close off the H2. Underneath that, we'll do a P tag. And inside the P tag, we want to say by and then the author. So we'll output that and then close off the P tag. And then finally, underneath that, we can say span. And inside here, we'll say this blog has, and then we want to output the likes. So $ curly braces, likes, and then likes. And then close off, oops, it's a span tag, like so. Now then, if we were to log this to the console, we should see all of that HTML string. So if I save it and preview over here in a browser, we can see this HTML string now. And we created that pretty easily using this template string and injecting this dynamic content, okay? So later on, what I'm going to show you how to do is take something like a template like this and output it to the browser somewhere. For now, we'll just use the console, but later we'll see how to output it to the browser. But this is just one use case of using template strings.